I am Will Scott. Welcome in to college football. Now we are just days away from National Signing Day. Still a lot of 5 stars that have yet to make their decision. So we're going to break down right now the top 25 recruits going into National Signing Day. Some of those guys uncommitted, and we'll tell you what schools they are looking at. We begin with Justice Haynes, who is committed to Alabama, the 5-star running back, currently 25th in the country. He's out of Georgia, and he joins the Crimson Tide. Rueben Owens, meanwhile, also a running back. He stays in state. He is going to Texas A&M, currently committed, the 5'11", 195-pound back out of El Campo, Texas, pretty close to College Station. Desmond Ricks is our first uncommitted player that we're talking about. He's number 23 overall. He is out of IMG Academy in Florida. A lot of people believe he could be LSU bound. He has been busy visiting schools this month. He did visit his in-state Florida Gators as well as Alabama and LSU. He is expected to make a decision here pretty soon. And I do believe, as well as a lot of recruiting experts, that he's going to be LSU bound. They appear to have the most momentum at the moment. Brian Kelly currently has a top 5 recruiting class. Where do you think Desmond Ricks is headed? Florida, Bama, or LSU? Go down in the comment section and let me know. We now move on to another uncommitted player. That is Russaw, the edge rusher out of Montgomery, Alabama. And Alabama is also in the mix for Russaw, as well as Georgia and Florida. These right now are the top 3 schools. A lot of recruiting experts believe he is going to stay in state and go to the Crimson Tide. He is a Carver High School product. Moving on now to number 21 on our list. That is Cedric Baxter Jr., 5-star running back. A lot of running backs that we're talking about here today. Out of Orlando, Florida. He is committed to Texas. Steve Sarkisian has a top 5 class as well. Are you a Texas fan? If so, shout out the horns down in the comment section or shout out your favorite team. If it's not Texas, I'm a Syracuse alum. I don't think we have any 5-star Seeps. Does Xavier even have a football team? Producer Seeps went to Xavier. They don't even have a football team. But go down, shout out your favorite team in the comment section. Let's talk about the U now. They have a really talented class coming in, even though they had a disappointing season. And they have a top 20 recruit right here committed in Samson Okunlola, who is out of Thayer Academy in Massachusetts. So he is making a wise decision and is going to a much warmer place in South Beach. Anthony Hill, he's out of Denton, Texas. A little bit north of Dallas, Ryan High School, very talented program they have over there at Denton Ryan. He's staying in state and is going to the Horns, 5-star linebacker, who is the number 1 linebacker in the entire country. Really big get for Sarkisian. Number 18, meanwhile, is James Smith, also out of Carver High School, much like Russaw in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, he has not officially committed yet, but a lot of people believe he could be bound for Alabama. Now, we have college football rumors, news, transfer portal content, also NFL draft videos, so go down and subscribe, and we're going to have you covered during National Signing Day. A lot of news leading up to that to discuss. Deuce Robinson also is uncommitted. He's out of Pinnacle High School in Phoenix, Arizona, the number 1 tight end in the entire country. Here is who is in the mix for him. Georgia, USC, Alabama, and Texas. Do believe that USC is the favorite to land him. I believe he stays out west and goes to the Trojans. Let's talk about one of the more intriguing prospects, maybe of all time, dare I say, and that is Nichols Harbor. And the reason I say that is because he is a freakish athlete, has the 4th fastest 200-meter dash time in high school track and field history, a 20.79. The guy is fast as hell, and here is who is in the mix for him. Maryland, Michigan, and South Carolina. Now, South Carolina, we've talked about the job that Shane Beamer has done there. They are right now, according to recruiting experts, the favorite to land the number one athlete in this entire class. He did, though, visit the University of Maryland on December 9th, but even with that, recruiting analysts still believe that he is going to South Carolina to join a Gamecock squad that exceeded expectations this year, an 8-win season. I want to tell you about our friends over at Rocket Money. And if you're like me and you have all these subscriptions that you can't keep track with, Rocket Money is the app for you. They are going to cancel unnecessary subscriptions. That's why I love using the app called Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you don't know you are paying for. You may even find out you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel one, all you got to do is press cancel. They will take care of the rest. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money right now. Go to rocketmoney.com/NFL Daily to get started. Look, I had a subscription that I canceled last week. I had no idea I had. Rocket Money alerted me. I'm like, man, I just saved $12 this month. Thanks, Rocket Money. rocketmoney.com/NFL Daily. That link is in the comments and the description of this video. Moving on to the top 15. Durian Dickey, the wide receiver out of California, the number 2 wide receiver in the entire country. He is bound for the Oregon Ducks. He is expected to sign on Wednesday. Peyton Bowen, meanwhile, also out of Denton, Texas, Geyer High School. He's the number 2 safety in the country, and he is a really big get for Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman has a top 5 class right now. It's not easy to go into Texas and take talent out of Texas and bring them to a program like Notre Dame, but that is what Marcus Freeman has done here with the talented 5-star safety. Damon Wilson, meanwhile, out of Venice, Florida. He has not committed yet, but Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia are in the mix here. The favorite right now is Ohio State. Now, that could change here in the coming weeks, but right now he's expected to maybe go to Ohio State. He's the number 2 edge rusher in the entire country. Do you think he is the best uncommitted player? Let me know down in the comments section who you think that is right now, just days before the early signing period is set to begin. Caden Proctor, he is Iowa bound. They're obviously always going to bring in some talented offensive linemen. The number 1 player out of the state of Iowa. He is from Southeast Polk High School in Des Moines, so he stays in state. Really big pickup for the Hawkeyes. By far their biggest commit in this entire class. And we have some breaking news that we just learned of a moment ago. Dante Moore, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, he's not going to Oregon anymore. He has flipped to UCLA. This coming from Pete Thamel of ESPN. 5-star QB Dante Moore, the number 3 overall prospect in the country. That's according to ESPN's list. We're going off the 24/7 composite. Tells ESPN that he's flipping his commitment to UCLA from Oregon. His commitment gives UCLA the highest rated recruit in UCLA history in ESPN's ranking. So, wow, Chip Kelly going and getting Dante Moore at a visit earlier this month. And I think a big thing here was he's going to have a chance to go in and compete for that starting job right away. Yeah, they have the Kent State transfer quarterback. I think Dante Moore has a pretty good chance, though, to win that job. And if he had stayed at Oregon, he wasn't going to have a chance to win that job. Bo Nix just announced yesterday that he is going back for a 5th collegiate season at Oregon, exercising that COVID year, not going to enter the NFL draft. Who will end up as the best player in this class? It could very well be Dante Moore. I am extremely high on him. I think he's higher than another quarterback recruit, for me at least, that we're going to talk about here in a second. Let's talk about Keon Keeley now as we get in to the top 10. He right now, according to the 24/7 composite, the number 10 player in the country out of Berkeley Prep in Tampa Bay, Florida. He is committed to Alabama, the number 1 edge rusher in the country. Just talked about Damon Wilson. Alabama also in the mix for him. They do get Keon Keeley here, the number 10 overall player in the country. David Hicks out of Pado High School in Katy, Texas. I got a chance to see this guy absolutely wreck a high school offensive line. One of the most talented players I've ever seen in person. Pado High School, he helped turn that program around, had a really successful run with them. The number 1 defensive lineman in the entire country. He stays in state and is going to play for Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M. A&M right now number 15 in the class rankings. Getting in now to the number 8 overall player in the country. That is Francis Mago, the one of the top offensive tackles in the country. Number 2 overall player in the state of Florida. He stays in state and is going to the U. Pretty crazy, but Miami right now has 24 commits. 16 of them are from the state of Florida. Jackson Arnold, number 7 overall prospect in the country, the quarterback out of Denton-Guyer. I think he's a really good prospect. I don't know if I'd rank him personally. I have Dante Moore. Again, this is the 24/7 composite we're talking about, but that's a really big get for Oklahoma, getting him the number 4 quarterback in the country here, Jackson Arnold. Also got a chance to watch him in person. Didn't blow me away, but you can see the decision-making is really good. His poise has a really good, has some really good touch on the football as well. So a talented prospect in Jackson Arnold. Caleb Downs, meanwhile, number 6 overall. And the number 1 safety in the country. He is Alabama bound. A lot of people will call Alabama DBU. That's debatable, but they've certainly picked up a lot of talented defensive backs in this class. Zachariah Branch, as we begin with our top 5 prospects. He is the number 1 wide receiver in the country. He's out of Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas, one of the best high school programs in the nation. He stays out west and is going to play for Lincoln Riley and USC. He's very quick, 5'10", 172 pounds. I'm really excited to see what he can do. He can kind of move back and forth, too, but between being an outside receiver and playing in the slot. He's very versatile. Talking about another quarterback here, a lot of quarterbacks that we're going to discuss here in the top 4, a couple of them. Nico Yamaleva on campus this week for Tennessee. He's really talented, has really good touch on the football, kind of like Jackson Arnold, but can throw the ball probably a little bit more deep. But he's on campus this week for Tennessee. He's expected to enroll early over there. And then Malachi Nelson, another quarterback, number 2 overall quarterback in the country. He is USC bound, staying in his home state of California. Cormani McClain, number 2 overall prospect in the country. He is going to the University of Miami. And then, no surprise here, the number 1 overall prospect in the country is Arch Manning, the Texas commit. He will sign on Wednesday and enroll early with Texas. So it's going to be very interesting to watch him next year. Obviously, they have Quinn Ewers coming back, but he'll probably still get some reps next year. You can follow me on Twitter at WillScott44, talking about some more college football content on my Twitter page.